A Step into the Past Volume 22 Chapter 3 Book 22 Chapter 03, Ancient Opera. Xiang Xiaolong observed Zhang Chuan beating around the bush and not going straight to the point. He guessed Zhang Chuan is testing his limits before revealing the full picture. He affirmed, "The money is very tempting and I would hate to be Brother Zhang's enemy. However, Mistress Feng Fei and I have an affinity for each other. I will not repay her trust with malice." His words are tactfully chosen, making his stand clear that he will not do anything against Feng Fei's interest. Zhang Chuan cunningly scoffed, "Brother Shen is mistaken. Why would I cause any harm to Mistress Feng Fei? For the past few days, I admit that I am upset with her for demoting me. But thinking back, it was my own fault. Thus, I do not have the right to bear any grudges." Xiang Xiaolong was curious, "What does Brother Zhang expect of me? Whatever I can do, Brother Zhang can do better. There is no need for you to lose those glittering pieces of gold into my pocket." Zhang Chuan leaned towards Xiang Xiaolong and whispered, "Are you aware that Little Ping told somebody she has affections towards yourself?" Xiang Xiaolong frowned, "What has this got to do with the deal? Anyway, I don't believe she will tell anybody she likes me." Zhang Chuan snickered, "She did not say it out word for word, but she often talks about you in front of the others. Based on her personality, it is as clear as day that she has taken a serious liking to you." Xiang Xiaolong can feel his head aching. In the present situation, he cannot allow himself to be entangled in any relationships. Moreover, he is too soft-hearted when it comes to handling the fairer sex. All these complications will only add to his burdens, and he secretly warned himself to resist such temptations. He rejected, "Brother Zhang need not speak any further. Making use of Sister Ping to achieve our goals is beyond me. How about this? I will plead with Mistress Feng Fei to promote you back to your original appointment, and I will serve as your assistant manager. We will all be on good terms once again. Isn't this better than all the daily infighting?" Noticing his resolute countenance, Zhang Chuan was irked and cussed, "Brother Shen is too naive. Do you really believe that you are promoted to my exposition because Mistress Feng Fei believes in your abilities? She is only using you as a scapegoat. In fact, she is already in love with a mystery man. After her trip to Linzai, she will disappear with him to an undisclosed location, leading a life of seclusion and happiness. According to my estimations, she will pretend to develop feelings for you and use you as a diversion, drawing attention away from the real culprit. You will die a wrongful death." Xiang Xiaolong was outraged, "Who is that man?" Zhang Chuan groaned, "I will not have come to you if I know who he is. Except for Little Pinger, nobody knows about Feng Fei's affairs." Xiang Xiaolong's opinion of Feng Fei is becoming less and less favorable. And it is all because Zhang Quan's words make perfect sense. Feng Fei is as wise as an owl. She is unlikely to place all her hopes and safety in his hands, and yet she gave him such an impression. She is obviously trying to stir up his heroism, painting herself as a helpless damsel who requires his protection. In actual fact, she could have easily planned her own retreat from Qi. On the other hand, Zhang Chuan has been bribed by someone to destroy her grand plan and detain her for his, the rich person, personal enjoyment. Even if he, rich person, cannot win her love, he will have her body. Feng Fei is like a limited, top-quality gem, which everyone wishes to acquire. Although no one can openly use force to obtain her, there will be countless schemes to achieve the same result. The circumstances are unbelievable. He was unlucky enough to be drawn into this turmoil. Zhang Chuan assumed that Xiang Xiaolong has changed his mind. He took his money pouch out from his bosom and counted 5 ingots of gold. He put his arm around Xiang Xiaolong's shoulders and gently persuaded, "My mastermind is a high-ranking and influential man in Qi. He is 1 in a million. Brother Shen only need to do your job well and you may be even rewarded with an official post. He loves Mistress Feng Fei wholeheartedly and will give her a good life. At the end of the day, take it that we are doing mistress a huge favor. There is no way Xiang Xiaolong will trust his words. But if he puts himself in Zhang Quan's shoes, he will too bluff about have a rich and powerful backer in Qi, because it is indeed an effective way to coerce the weak into submitting. Xiang Xiaolong plainly requested, "Let me try to understand the situation more thoroughly before I commit to a decision. Brother Zhang, please keep your gold for the time being. AI. Regardless I work with you or not, you should give me some time to consider your proposal." Looking at his unwavering appearance, Zhang Chuan nodded, "All right, but you must give me an answer by the time we arrive in Linzi." After Zhang Chuan left, Xiang Xiaolong is still fixated in his daydream. Will Feng Fei really use him as a scapegoat for the man of her dreams? With her refined and lovely facade, it is hard to imagine that she is such a despicable person. From the beginning, he had assumed Zhang Chuan to be Dong Shuzhen's lapdog, but it is apparently not true after analyzing his, Zhang Chuan, tone. Dong Shuzhen is trying her best to get rid of him, while Zhang Chuan is trying his best to bribe him. Their actions are contradictory to each other. He is getting more and more muddle-headed when Xiao Yuan returned to the room. Listening to Xiang Xiaolong's exchange with Zhang Chuan, Xiao Yuan frowned. Never in my wildest imagination did I expect Feng Fei's retirement to cause such a big hoo-ha. It appears to me there is indeed a mastermind trying all means and ways to have Feng Fei all for himself. To a certain extent, Zhang Quan's words sounds logical. Feng Fei enjoys the respect of numerous kings and lords. If she takes the trouble to ask for assistance, she will have no lack of capable men coming forward to offer their protection. And yet she has to be so secretive about the whole thing. Thus, I conclude that her mystery lover is someone unique, maybe even someone who has a lowly status. Exposing this person's identity will cause disaster to befall upon him. Compared to Xiang Xiaolong, Xiao Yuan has a better understanding about the mentality of the rich and powerful. He queried, "Is Feng Fei so wicked that she will really use me as her scapegoat?" Xiao Yuan grinned, "Let's wait and observe the situation further. I am sure things will be clearer after some surveillance. Our Xiaolong is no pushover after all, whoever dares to scheme against us can expect a scheme in return." Xiang Xiaolong agreed. Who would have thought that such a small song and dance troupe would involve such complications? Watching the song and dance troupe rehearsal, Xiang Xiaolong finally understood how poetry, singing and music can be amalgamated into one body. In the past, either he did not pay much attention to these performances or he only stared at the beautiful main character. In this moment, he can feel himself immersing into the presentation and can fully appreciate every component of it. By itself, the 30-odd member orchestra led by Yun Niang is show-worthy. Yun Niang plays a set of 8 hanging bells, representing the 8 ancient and original tones, do re mi fa sol la ti do. Ranging from big bells to small bells, they took up 1/5 of the space in the hall. She strikes the bells in a graceful posture, mesmerizing the audience with her nimble stances and dance steps. It is no wonder why she is highly respected by Feng Fei. Xiang Xiaolong assumed that Yun Niang is aware of Feng Fei's plans to disband the song and dance troupe. Thus, she is using every opportunity to get close to Xiao Yuan, hoping to marry him after the disbandment. As one grows older, one becomes more practical. If he was in her shoes, he too would choose the AA successful Xiao Yuan and not the AA pathetic Shen Liang. The hall is full of ancient instruments like the stone clappers, metal cymbals, pipes, lutes, bronze drums, chimes and harps, providing well-matched melodies. The music is soothing, gentle and pleasing to the ears. Xinyu, Zhu Ziuchen, and the other courtesans are dancing to the music. Feng Fei and Dong Shuzhen are standing at a side, analyzing the dance. From time to time, they will lean towards each other and exchange feedback. From their body language, it is impossible to tell that they are secretly opposing each other. The serving maids are tasked to assist the courtesans in changing clothes and serving refreshments. It was a busy and lively scene. On this occasion, Feng Fei did not invite Xiao Yuan along. As a result, Xiang Xiaolong is sitting at a side, watching the rehearsal all by himself. Fortunately, he can feast his eyes on the gorgeous courtesans. He kept himself busy checking them out. On several counts, Xinyu fluttered her eyelashes at him, giving him a sense of warmth, making him feel less lonely. Zhu Xiuchen appears to be as angry with him as before. She gave him a fierce stare and no longer pays any attention to him. Out of a sudden, an icy voice sounded out beside him, "Who are you staring at?" Xiang Xiaolong turned in head in astonishment. It is little Pinger dressed up as a boy, looking at him with a hostile expression. He was momentarily shaken before he spluttered out, "I am watching the rehearsal." Little Pinger whined, "I think you are looking at Mistress Xinyu instead." None of your business," Xiang Xiaolong was scolding inside. On the outside, he swallowed his pride and inquired, "Doesn't Sister Ping think the rehearsal is fantastic?" Little Pinger stomped her feet, "You are paying so much attention to her and must be lusting for her." Xiang Xiaolong can detect the overpowering jealousy in her words, and since he feels no affections for her, he is beginning to feel annoyed. He intentionally rebuffed, "It is common for men to be drawn to attractive women. When Miss Xinyu performs in front of a large audience, is Sister Ping going to scold the few hundred spectators?" Her face reddening on the spot, little Pinger marched away in anger. Xiang Xiaolong can instantly feel a burden released from his shoulder. This lass is willful, easily jealous, stubborn, and demanding. It is best not to get involved with her. Feng Fei waved him over and inquired, "What does Manager Shen think about this new routine?" Dong Shuzhen's gaze fell upon his face, scanning him with full attention. Despite knowing that this is a loose woman whom he can easily sleep with, the fact that he has heard her moaning before, coupled with their close proximity now where he can have a delightful view of her huge breasts and slender waist, Xiang Xiaolong is transfixed. He dryly coughed, "I am inexperienced when it comes to music, but I must say that the melodies are a treat to my ears." Yun Niang's playing of the bells is clear and precise, akin to a commanding general leading his huge army to war. Dong Shuzhen said, "Manager Shen is too modest. Your simple words have explained the essence of the orchestra. The ringing of the bells has all along been essential to managing the timing as well as the sound effects of the orchestra. The bells marked both the starting and ending of every song, and can be played as a solo or as an accompanying instrument to the zither, lute, pipe, or flute. The bells are the most versatile and they affect the mood of the song." Facing her enticements, Xiang Xiaolong knows that she is faking them but is nonetheless surprised by her enlightenment. He pretended to listen intensively to her words. Taking in the intoxicating fragrances of the two ladies, Xiang Xiaolong visualized himself as the only male species in a country of women. Sailing up the long river on this giant ancient ship in winter, he felt like he is on top of the world. In a remarkably tender voice, Feng Fei shared, "Content arises from poems, movements arise from dancing, sounds arise from singing. When these three become one body, it will become a special birthday present for the King of Qi. It is named, the Immortal Phoenix Arising. Unfortunately, I encountered some difficulties in the main song. Hopefully, I can resolve it by the time of the banquet. Otherwise, it will be a huge disappointment." A strange look flashed by Dong Shuzhen's face. Although curious, Xiang Xiaolong cannot guess what is on her mind. Xiang Xiaolong turned his attention to Xinyu and the dancing courtesans. He casually asked, "Is there a different dance movement for every song, portraying a different setting? And lastly, will the main song come in to bring the audiences to a climax, bringing closure to the story?" The curvy bodies Feng Fei and Dong Shuzhen uncontrollably trembled. Their pretty almond-shaped eyes looked at each other in wonder for some time before they both stared at him. Xiang Xiaolong can sense that something is not right. Witnessing their amazement, he awkwardly apologized, "Your servant," polite way of saying "I," is spouting nonsense. Both mistresses, kindly do not take offense. The two ladies remained silent. Now it was Xiang Xiaolong's turn to shudder. He found out the reason for their reaction. To a 21st century person, it is common to express a story through a musical. There is nothing new or surprising. However, during the period of the Warring States, music is traditionally linked to its origin, used as part of prayers to the Creator. Music itself has no AA storyline until the later dynasties of Song and Yuan. In the eyes of Feng Fei, his words are a groundbreaking revelation. Her alluring breasts still quivering, Feng Fei finally exhaled, "Ai. Shen Liang, this is a very novel perspective of things. You are indeed a very special person." Dong Shuzhen quipped, "This idea is not only unique but superbly refreshing. Mistress should consider it." Feng Fei's pair of glimmering, soul-hooking eyes rested on Xiang Xiaolong's face for some time before she decided, "Shuzhen, please give some thought to it as well. I am going back to my room to take a rest." Finishing, she took her leave without giving Xiang Xiaolong a second glance. Dong Shuzhen came closer to Xiang Xiaolong until her pert bosom nearly came in contact with his hand. She revealed, "No one has ever caused Feng Fei such agitation. Shen Liang, you are the first." Embarrassed, Xiang Xiaolong uttered, "Second mistress must be making fun of me." Her lovely face blossoming like a flower, Dong Shuzhen tiptoed and whispered into his ears, "My heart beats for you too." Finishing, she even lightly blew a mouthful of air into his ears. Xiang Xiaolong is fully aware that she is trying to seduce himself to achieve her dark, unspoken goal. Nonetheless, he felt like touching her in return. Hurriedly suppressing his temptation, he rejected, "Second mistress, please don't. It doesn't sound right." Dong Shuzhen gave him a coquettish smile and shifted slightly away. She batted her eyes at him, "You can come to my room whenever you are free. There will just be the two of us and we can enjoy each other's company in full privacy." Xiang Xiaolong thought, wouldn't that be sending the lamb into the tiger's den? Getting himself ensnared in her beauty trap? He answered, "Your servant dare not." "Mistress, Feng Fei, will be offended." Dong Shuzhen sweetly smiled, "Your fists are so hard and yet your guts are so little." "Mistress, Feng Fei, will not bother with my business." "Oh. Unless you are pining for mistress, Feng Fei." Xiang Xiaolong was stunned, "Second mistress must be joking. Your servant is just a lowly manager. I dare not dream of being the toad lusting after the swan's flesh." Dong Shuzhen's body wobbled, "Toad lusting after the swan's flesh? How in the world did you think of such proverbs?" Xiang Xiaolong realized that this proverb is not invented yet. He uneasily responded, "It is just me spouting gibberish as usual." Dong Shuzhen took a closer look at him as if this is the first time she is seeing him. After some time, she questioned, "Every time you say something, you will disclose some thought-provoking ideas. You are such a talent and it is a pity if you are underutilized. Shen Liang, have you ever thought about your plans for the future?" Right now, the music has stopped playing. The courtesans are giggling among themselves, awaiting further instructions from Dong Shuzhen. Only Xinyu is alone at a side, jealously eyeing the intimate conversations between the two of them. Little Pinger is nowhere to be seen. Xiang Xiaolong professed, "I am completely satisfied with my position now as general manager." Ah! The courtesans, are waiting for second mistress's guidance. Dong Shuzhen divulged, "Let me tell you a secret. The song and dance troupe will disband soon. Everyone who knows about it has been keeping a lookout for other prospects. For myself, I am greatly troubled, as I do not wish to end up as someone's concubine or mistress. Shen Liang, if you have any plans, please come and talk to me about them." She stretched out her hand, pinching his arm and softly beamed, "You are really muscular." She then smilingly went over to the courtesans. Xiang Xiaolong dared not look at Xinyu's expression and quickly slipped away. On his way back to his cabin, this is the first time he sympathizes with Dong Shuzhen. She has dedicated her entire life to singing and dancing. She obviously does not wish to lose her career at such a young age. Moreover, it is the only admirable career a woman can have in this ancient period. To a certain extent, Feng Fei is awfully selfish and only makes plans for herself. It will be even more unforgivable if Feng Fei is using him as a scapegoat, a diversion, as propagated by Zhang Chuan. If there is a way to allow Dong Shizhen to become Feng Fei's successor, giving Feng Fei a hassle-free retirement, that will be a happy ending for both parties. It is a difficult proposition, though not entirely impossible. The issue lies with Feng Fei. Back in his room, Xiao Yuan has just completed his new dye and is working on Xiang Xiaolong's disguise. When Xiang Xiaolong told him about little Pinger noticing the changes in his, Xiang Xiaolong, appearance, the latter laughed, "I guarantee that nobody can see through your disguise once my work is completed. Our biggest advantage is your weight loss, causing the shape of your eyes to be different from before. You must watch your diet and don't gain too much weight." Xiang Xiaolong groaned, "I have been restricting myself already. Now that little Ping has expressed interest in me and Dong Shizhen is trying her best to seduce me, I can feel my head aching. What should I do?" Xiao Yuan jested, "Xiang Xiaolong is Xiang Xiaolong. Even talented Lady Ji has fallen for you, it is no surprise that other girls will do the same. Hey! Let me show you something." Xiang Xiaolong shifted his gaze to the object on his open palm. It resembles a fruit seed, extremely hard and about the size of a thumb. Piqued, he questioned, "What is it?" Xiao Yuan rationalized, "It does not matter what it is. What it is used for is more critical. When you put it under your tongue, it will change the tone of your voice, making you sound vastly different from Xiang Xiaolong." Xiang Xiaolong frowned, "But if Feng Fei and the others hear my new voice, wouldn't it raise any red flags?" Xiao Yuan assured, "Your status is not the same as before. When Feng Fei is speaking to outsiders, do you think you have the right to be present? And even if you happen to be around, you do not have the right to interrupt or give your opinion. When you are meeting with someone familiar, all you have to do is to pop this into your mouth and evade identification." After experiencing Xiao Yuan's bag of tricks, Xiang Xiaolong is no longer surprised by the ridiculous stuff he comes up with. He picked up the seed and placed it under his tongue as instructed by Xiao Yuan. With further supervision by the master of disguise, he is relearning how to talk as if he is a toddler. True enough, the tone of his voice is now very different from before. As Xiao Yuan is laughing at Xiang Xiaolong's antics, the sound of knocking is heard. He swiftly went to open the door. Xiang Xiaolong saw Xiao Yuan being yanked out of the room and was in a state of perplexity when Xiao Yuan re-entered the room and whispered, "I am going over to Yun Niang's room tonight to have a good time. If you are feeling lonely, try approaching Xinyu or one of the ladies. I have not tried Xinyu before, but I personally guarantee that Dong Shizhen will give you a night to remember. All the best." When the cabin door was closed again, Xiang Xiaolong can only smile bitterly to himself. The voyage is a lonesome one and a female companion for the night will surely grant him significant happiness. However, he cannot go against his own conscience. After being in a daze for some time, he made peace with his own emotions and snuggled into his bed and blanket. Since he left Qin, his greatest joy lies in meeting his wives and son in his dreams. Just as he was about to fall asleep, his ears picked up the sound of the door softly opening and he woke up in shock. Xiang Xiaolong reached over and barely grasped the handle of blood wave hanging by his bedside when he was overwhelmed by a womanly fragrance. A sizzling hot female body has snaked underneath his blanket, entangling him securely like an octopus.